Hey guys, so today me and Gerald, my teammate for Cumasu, and another friend of his who works for the Doctors Without Borders Foundation will be joining us to go to Kibera, which is a slum in Nairobi, to hopefully speak with some locals about basically their experiences in regards to the health care over there, and then also in terms of the concept with Cumasu. But before I do that, I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee and yeah, bye.
Most of the time when you are in other parts of Nairobi, you get a different perception of what exactly think that all parts of Nairobi looks like that. But going to Kibera is another extreme part of Nairobi that is good to relate with, especially if we are going to work with a system that can be able to work for both the people who live in the city, in the good life, and the people who live in Kibera, the type of life they live. So it was a very good experience for us to go there. The first person that we met was called Dan. He lives and works actually in Kibera. He spends most of his time in Kibera. If it's a matter of food, he gets it in Kibera. Health is in Kibera. Water is from Kibera. What Dan said is that for him to get to the hospital, actually for him it takes longer because he goes 2 times a month or after 3 months. With that type of experience, he said that if he goes to the hospital, it is always crowded and he can't be able to get services immediately. That is also almost similar to what Pamela Ochieng said. For her, she goes to the hospital, and in most cases, if she wants to receive services immediately, she has to go there very early in the morning. That means uses the principle of the first come, first served. If he goes to the hospital at the midday, there's always a line of people. So she has to wait and wait, something between 3 to 4 hours or sometimes 2 hours at its best. If the person is having an illness that needs an urgent attention, the person may end up suffering or even losing their lives. So we can be able to imagine situations in the boardrooms and say you want to create a system that can work and do this and that. But it was very important for us to go to Kibera because the first thing, the life in Kibera is totally different from the lives in other parts of Nairobi. And that is actually painting the real picture of the country Kenya, and not even Kenya only, but some part of East Africa. The rich and the poor, the line is very clear. So for us to create a system that will work for both, we must have an experience of the other side, people like Kibera, people that lives in Kibera, and this side of the country, like the Nairobi city. When we get a system that can work for both, I think we have got a solution that is proper for anybody to work with. The technology can be able to serve the poor and the rich.
So I just got back from Kibera with Gerald and his friend, who actually works at the Doctors Without Borders Foundation here in Kenya, actually. And what we basically did is just walk around, speak to a lot of people, a few people here and there, discuss what it really felt like to be in Kibera, to understand where it comes from their perception to get an appointment, or even how long it might take for the waiting time and all that. And also then discuss the concept of Cumasu to them. And basically, as you'll probably hear in a voiceover that comes from Gerald, you'll hear that we're really trying to find like a middle ground. It's sort of like an application that can be used by both sort of like all sorts of classes, because we are trying to build like an Android app that is going to be utilized with USSD technology. But yeah, I'm excited for what's going to come next, because one of the ladies that we spoke to actually agreed to organize sort of like a meeting with like 9 other women where we can get together and sort of do this discussion again in a collective and really understand what the experiences of all these women, and then also discuss collectively the concept of Cumasu and see if that is something that would be of usefulness to them.